My love for you will always be in abundance. Let's come together, turn nothing to something. Communicate more to develop our love and connecting our spirits. Our souls are in function. Let's build our foundation, we learn from that. Learn from the story that's from the past. We grow in this life as our time will pass. Reflect on ourselves so we ever last. Hey, what's up, world? Welcome to Underlying Perceptions. I am XCARIGA, and to the right of me and to your left, I have my beautiful wife, my queen, my everything, and my better half, Charyeea.
Hey guys, hey Hen.
Hello. So go ahead and let people know who Charyeea is.
Ooh, who is Charyeea? That's deep. Look at you coming up here with these little deep questions that I'm not ready for.
Oh,
or am I? Who knows?
Are you?
Who is Charyeea? That's something I don't know. I've thought about for years now. It's a lot of things that Charyeea is. Charyeea can be. She wears many hats, actually. I wear a lot of hats. I'm loving. I'm very family oriented. I'm a wife. I'm a mother now. Thanks. Shout out to Kasai, little baby hun bunners. My little hun son.
Shout out to Sai, baby.
Bud. Go ahead, hun bunner. That's my little hun son. So whatever. But yeah, I wear a lot of hats. You know, I'm in school right now. I'm a student. I'm a daughter. God-fearing, loving, caring. So yeah, I mean, Charyeea, that's deep. That's deep. Who is Charyeea?
Like you said,
I'm gonna still work on that because I think I can, expand that, question a little bit more because Charyeea, she's indubitable. Is that how you say it?
Yes.
Is Charyeea indubitable?
Ooh, just
is that
rolls.
What we say now, guys? Yeah.
Not to be doubted, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not to be doubted. Woman of many things.
Amen. I agree. And, being in this relationship with you for 12 years, it marks today, 5 years married, November 18th, 2009. I can say that I've learned a lot from you, and it taught me a lot, especially when it comes to communication and patience. I can say that I really learned a lot from you. Oh. And so I commend you for everything you do. Your brain is beautiful. Like, you mentally stimulate me, and I feel like that's key in a relationship.
Definitely. I think it's important for two people to mental stimulate each other because then you can meet that person where you're at.
Yes.
Here I go in my little therapist terms. But no, but it's true though. Like you got to meet that person where they at in order to grow with them.
Yes.
To learn from them and learn from yourself and, tune into reality with that person, especially if you want to achieve or strive for a healthy relationships. I mean, nobody's perfect. We got to be real, not perfect. See what I did there? Yeah. So
Ghostwriter?
Always ghostwriter. Lyrics, guys. Always. That's me. What you hear is me. I'm spitting things. But yeah, I be writing his stuff. Don't let nobody know.
No, yeah. Oh, we won't let nobody know.
The world knows now.
But I do appreciate you highly. And you know what? Like you said, with the relationships, there's always going to be what is called ups and downs. But at the end of the day, are they really ups and downs or are they just learning obstacles? Like, I feel like, in life, there's always challenges. Like, what's life without a challenge? What's life without risk,
Definitely.
So I say, like, with that, it just comes with durability and, synonymous to endurance in a relationship, being able to uphold and update each other the whole way through.
Oh, definitely.
Regardless of, flaws and regardless of not being able to achieve perfectionism, if that's a word, perfection, to achieve perfection, and I would say, like, with a relationship, it comes with compromise and it comes with sacrifices.
What do you think is a sacrifice for you?
Sacrifice would probably be sacrificing some of myself. Yeah, I would say so. The reason why I say that is like being able to do things without the mindset that I have others that I have to live for as well. Like you, my son, my family, I think that individualization that I have to sacrifice at some extent in order to, be there collectivistically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean by that, right,
yeah.
baby? So it's like, it's more, it's just more so like, it goes back to that compassion fatigue a little bit where sometimes you do have to put yourself out on the front line, in your relationship, in your family, to where sometimes you have to put yourself on the back burner because you have to sometimes get this mindset developed that it's not always about you. The world is not, it doesn't evolve around you. So the sacrifice comes to being able to accept that it's not always going to be about self, but more so like the collectivistic side of things. And I think that's where the compromise kicks in.
You know, that's interesting because most people who would ask, like, you know, answer that question, they'd be like, oh, you know, I don't sacrifice myself in relationships because it's like they're telling you what you think you want to hear. And it's like, well, no, like everybody makes sacrifices, especially in a relationship, you know. Yes. I've made sacrifices myself, like coming from a person who was all about self. Like I said, Chris is my first relationship. And I didn't really understand what it meant to be in a relationship. Like, I had to learn throughout the trials, tribulations, the challenges that we've been through and went through throughout this past 12 years to understand, like, okay, you know what? I did have to sacrifice this in order to achieve this or to grow with Chris this way. But I never sacrificed myself individually in the aspect where I lost myself.
Right.
Because, I mean, sometimes you do get caught up in a relationship where you're losing friends and you're losing family, but then sometimes you're growing apart from them and you're developing a new self. You're like a flower sprouting from concrete, you know? So where you're growing into your own self, you're growing to your own reality to where you're not losing yourself necessarily, you're just growing to who you are.
Yes. And that leads me
as an adult, I guess.
No, that's real talk, you know, and like you said, it goes to where you're able to sacrifice yourself without losing yourself.
Yeah.
And sometimes that, you know, it happens and we minimize it. Like, what if we sacrificing something that end up putting us in like an anxious state or a depressive state, and we don't understand why our behaviors or why we think or to feel the certain way we feel after making a certain sacrifice in our life. We don't understand how much that's taken from us. And I feel like that could get a person lost in, like feeling like they really lost something, that they lost a part of themselves at some point. And I feel like, you know, it goes back to achieving that differentiation. It's being able to like accept what was, learn from what is, and embrace today. Embrace now.
No, you're right. Like, I mean, it got to the point, like, in our 12-year journey, there were times where I felt like I'm losing a piece of myself, or I wasn't happy, or I was mad at you and stuff like that. Like, it did get to a point where I had to sit back and reflect and think about, like, is this really what I really want? Am I breaking up with him every 2 seconds? And I'm like, you know what? F this marriage. I want something new. I want something different. Is the grass greener on the other side? All of these thoughts come into play, especially when you're mad at your significant. It's really challenging, I would say, when you're in a relationship with somebody for a long time and you just want to just throw it all away. Yeah. And then it's challenging to just stick through it as well. And that's where religion came into play for me. Believing what my purpose was through God and talking to God and praying to God. That was one of the coping skills I had to utilize when it came to the challenging aspects of our relationship. Because, I mean, like, everybody go through things. No one's perfect, you know. You just got to be real.
I love it. And you're right. You know, at the end of the day, too, it's like, you said it, you know, we all go through things, and it's the matter of not repeating the same mistakes over and over, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's where awareness kicks in a relationship, especially speaking on myself. It's like, you know, are you going to keep doing the same things over and over to where you're seeing your relationship remain stagnant and it's not growing? Or are you going to make a change so you can see improvement or progress within your relationship? And I think, you know what? I know that it did come from a spiritual place. Spirituality, connectedness for me had really opened my eyes to self-reflect on myself, to better myself in my relationship, to better myself as a father now, to better myself as a family man, to better myself as a friend. And, you know, I'm not always going to appease to everybody because I'm always going to be working on myself and improving. But it still goes back to being accountable. I think accountability for men, and I'm only speaking from a man's perspective, you know.
Yeah, of course.
For men, taking accountability, that's where our pride gets in the way and we have an issue taking accountability for what we've done in our relationships. And, you know, I'm just speaking from experience. You know, it's like our pride gets in the way of communication. Sometimes we tend to say, "Oh, we don't want to communicate now," because that's how I be getting sometimes, right? I don't feel like talking about it right now. But you're like, "Well, we need to talk about it."
Yeah.
And right now, I'm trying to dictate it into a way where it's like it's got to be on my time. That's not how that should work. And I've started learning that communication really, really resolves a lot of issues, And I've learned that over the time, and it's just because without communication. And to be honest with you, you're communicating when you think you're miscommunicating. But it's once again, it goes back to that respect, the accountability, and then the action that falls behind it. And that's where I had to reflect and say, you know what? It's time to make a difference, time to make a change, because stagnation isn't for you. It's not meant for your life. It's meant for you to experience, but not to dwell in.
Definitely.
So I agree with you 100%. It definitely came from a spiritual place for me to reflect on that myself. So
yeah, I mean, like I said, no one's perfect. Everyone's always growing and evolving in life. And we met when we were young, guys. Like we were 16 when we first met and we got together. We were only in high school, 11th grade. So time has flown, and we had to go from childhood to adulthood together, and things change, that little chemical imbalance that start to change, and you start to look at life differently. Being underneath your parents, you are looking through their perspective and their lens, and then when you get out in the world, you start developing your own. So we went through that transition together from childhood to adulthood. So that was an experience within itself too. And I mean, surprisingly, by the grace of God, we're still together and we're still pushing it through.
Yeah, it's just a great way to look at it too, because we have been in a relationship with only each other,
Yeah.
And the thing is like it's not like we have experienced other relationships to know what that's like.
Yeah.
But it goes into the discussion, like if it's meant to be and you're able to work through it, then just try it out. And I say try it out because it's like you never know how a person feels. Me, I know my love for you is enduring.
Aww.
That's just a fact, No cap in my rap. That's just a fact.
Bars.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I think there's like this mindset that some people have, is where they think just because you get into an argument about something and you feel like these arguments are always talked about and brought up, and you're not willing to communicate your way through and make the changes and take the accountability. And I say both parties to take the accountability. And I think when it just gets to that rock bottom point for them, I feel like people want to throw it away.
Yeah.
Based off of experience, right? Like when we get in an argument, we're like, you know what, this is about it. Let's, but then it's like, who's to say you're not going to deal with that with the next person? So, or the next person, like what if you're just in a simulation of going through the same shit, and while you're going through the simulation, you should be trying to figure out how to play the game properly, or how to understand the rules, or how to make the changes and walk the steps properly in the game. I look at it like Matrix, it's like you keep doing the same thing and it's not going to bring you the outcome that you want, but if you change it up, and I say change it up as in improving yourself, working on yourself, your internal conflicts, confronting those,
of course,
you can achieve differentiation in a relationship and find that balance and understand that we're always going to have our arguments. We're always going to have our issues. Are we able to work from it?
Yeah, I think you hit like a good point too, because I mean, I'm that type of person. When we argue, like I say, we're a relationship. We have our good and our bad days. When we argue, I'm ready to throw it away, guys. Like, I'd be like, you know what, this is it. I can't take it no more. I'm done. And I'll go call my parents, and then they'd be like, Charyeea, you crazy, you tripping. And shout out to Mom and Dad.
Shout out to Mama Rose and Pops. Yes.
They're I look up to them because they've been together for 30 plus years. My mom's probably gonna correct me, like, girl, didn't I say it's like 35? But they've been together for 30 plus years, and I look up to them. I see them as a healthy relationship. When I was younger, I would be like, that's what I want. That's what I want in a husband. That's what I want to be as a wife. And so when I do get mad at Chris and he do be pissing me off, I go call my mom and dad like, Mom, can you believe that? Mom, let me talk to dad. And they just tell me like, Charyeea, you're the one tripping. Or Charyeea, you got to look at it from this way. Or Charyeea, this is how you can handle things. And it just gives me different perspective of how to approach him as a wife, let alone his friend. Because you got to realize that just because you're somebody's wife, you're their girlfriend, you still got to realize that they're your friend at the end of the day. You still got to maintain that friendship, that bond with that person in order to get through all of the trials and tribulations and the challenges that we did face.
Yes, I agree that, that friendship comes first. That's what brought us together.
Of course, yeah, we were friends at first.
Yeah. We was in our relationship and, we didn't have sex.
No, I mean, be real. I mean, I've been perfect, but
yeah,
go ahead,
we didn't have sex for a year. 2 years.
You see how you trying to do me, guys?
No, okay, my bad. 2 years, you know what I'm saying? And it was like it's the fact that we developed this friendship to get to know each other, get to feel each other out, get to understand each other's emotions.
Definitely.
Our flaws, what makes us our best. And you do that in the process of a friendship, in the beginning of a relationship. And then when you do come together where it becomes in the process where now y'all are everywhere, now y'all making love, now y'all got your first house together, now y'all doing things in unison, you're opening accounts together, and et cetera, and et cetera. It's a process ongoing to where it's like you're learning more about your partner, you becoming in tune with your partner to where it's like a spiritual connection, And what you want to do in a relationship, just as you would for a job, is to remain committed. That word commitment is powerful. Like you have to remain committed as if you were on a job.
Of course.
You're showing up to work every day. You're doing your assignments. You're making sure you reach deadlines. What makes you think you can't acquire those same assets in your own relationship to keep it healthy, update each other, love each other, talk to each other, get to understand something different? Like your favorite color yesterday may not be your favorite color today.
That's true, because I used to like blue, now I like gold.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I like blue. I will forever like blue. But gold is a beautiful color.
Yeah, of course it is.
But you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like you said, go ahead and tell me about the colors, like your theory on colors is really, really good.
I'm still developing that theory. I don't think they're ready yet. You think they're ready?
I think they're ready. Y'all ready for these bars?
All right, guys. Okay, so it's not ready, so don't be trying to at me. So, I have this little theory that the way to communicate with someone, like, say, for instance, how can I explain this best? So, say, for instance, you got XCARIGA here. He speaks multiple colors. That's what I tell him all the time. Like, you're able to communicate with different people. You can speak different colors like red, blue, green, yellow. But if it's a person who only speaks yellow, you can connect with them because you're able to be fluent. But me, here I am, I can't speak to someone who's yellow, where I may get lost in a train of thought, or I may drift off, or I'm not being able to translate what they're saying and understand what they're saying. So I can't speak yellow, I only can speak blue. And I only can connect to people who speak blue. And I only can reach out to people who speak blue. So it's just a communication theory that I have that I'm still developing as a therapist.
Hey now.
I'm still developing it because I don't know. It's just I like to watch and observe people interact with one another, and I'll see two people just butting heads, and it's because they can't speak the same color. They can't connect with each other because they can't understand each other. So I'm still developing this little theory. It's just something that's just been popping in my head in and out, but it's gonna get there. And hopefully, if somebody understands me, power to you, because most people don't. We speak the same color.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just a little theory I'm trying to work out a little bit.
And I love it because that's how people operate. That's how people operate. People operate off of differences.
Of course.
And then and everybody's raised differently.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? So
Definitely.
It's like reaching that once again, that differentiation of being able to understand and then accept it while still, understanding your color, being true to your color, but not neglecting the other colors out there.
Of course. And I mean, like, even if you was to apply that little theory that I got onto my house. So I grew up in a large family. I have multiple siblings, multiple sisters and brothers, and we all grew up different, y'all. We got different personalities. We are all looking at life differently. We're in different stages of our life. We got different careers because we all speak different colors. But somehow we all do speak a mutual color to where we can connect one another because we're all super close at the same time. Mm-hmm. So, but we all can go out into this world and speak different colors and connect to these different careers and the people within the careers and develop these different friendships. And I may not be able to relate to one of my sister's friends, but she does. And yeah, we grew up in the same house and under the same household. Doesn't necessarily mean we all speak the same colors. We're all individualized. We're all different, but we were raised by the same two parents.
Yeah, yeah. And that's that collectivistic view that kicks in, right? Where it's like, we're all individual, but we know how to come together as a collective. We know how to. Yeah, that's real talk. I love that theory, man.
My mom and dad wasn't having it. Especially my dad. If we was to argue or something, he was like, hug. Yeah. I was like, no, Dad, you hug. Just kidding. Just kidding, Dad. Don't try to make me hug my siblings. But no, he would get on us like that, especially when we weren't getting along with each other. So many of us, especially girls, we'd be at each other's throat. But he's like, we're not having that. You guys are family. You guys are all each other have. And we're going to make sure we stick together. And that's what we're doing now, especially as adults. We're all sticking together.
So you would say family is very important to you?
Oh, extremely, extremely. Family is my everything. Is my siblings, like, they're my everything. I make sure, like, we're all good, especially my family. You and me aside, you guys are obviously the first two people I put not in front of God, but I put you guys first. But you guys we're all family. And my grandfather, when he was on his deathbed, he always told me, like, make sure you take care of your mom and dad. And he stressed the fact that me and my siblings were all we have. And as we got older, we started to realize, like, even the family that you grew up really close with, whether it was on your mom's side or your dad's side, you start to, separate. You start to notice little things and how people are treating you. And you start to, like, gravitate more towards your sibling because it's like, we got each other. And I want you to know, siblings, we got each other. Like, nobody can pull us apart. No matter how much they try, we got each other. And y'all know where I'm coming from with that. So, yeah, family is very important to me. I like to keep the ones I'm close with very close. And like I said, blood doesn't make you family. I've acquired multiple different friends. And I'm not going to say, multiple different friends that I met throughout my life. And I consider my family, like my siblings. I will call a friend a sibling before I call a cousin a sibling, or I would call a friend family before I even consider one of my cousins or my aunts or an uncle or whatever the case is, a family member, because they haven't treated me like family. So sometimes it does come down to the point where blood does not make you family whatsoever. Just because we have the same genetic, family comes from the heart. Somebody who's caring, somebody who's connecting with you on the same level, and somebody who you can be there for, and vice versa, that reciprocity. Because when we get into family, we don't see that,
Amen.
We grew up thinking that they are going to be reciprocating the same kind of energy I'm giving out, but they don't. They start to view you differently. They start to envy you, and you're like, you know what? I'm good off of that. You're stagnant. I'm gonna let you sit where you are, but I'm not gonna grow with you. I'm about to grow this way.
Yeah.
Because if I'm growing with you, I'm about to be stuck with you, and I ain't about to be stuck with you now. So I'm about to be over here with my siblings, and we about to continue to live our life, and we're about to continue to prosper underneath the God.
Amen. I hear you loud and clear.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you got bars. Y'all see where I get it from,
guys.
Man. Oh, I love that.
I'm telling you, I be writing his stuff.
No, I love your perspective. Oh, for sure, for certain. You getting writer credits and all.
Oh, okay.
But it's I do appreciate where you're coming from with that. Blood doesn't make you family. Loyalty can.
Of course.
Empathic connectedness can. Support can. I'm not talking about temporary support for your own gratification. Okay, I'm not talking about that type of support. The type of support where you want it to benefit you. I'm talking about being there for your family regardless. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
And sometimes we do have family on the outside that are not, close to us, that don't show us the love and the respect or the support that we would show them.
Exactly.
So,
I grew up. When I was 1 year old, let's say, so I grew up with cousins and my actual biological siblings. in the same household. My mom took in 4 of my cousins. I grew up with them as my siblings. I mean, I was 1 year old, right? So I grew up with them. They're like, that's my sister. Nobody can tell me different. That those are my sisters. That's my brother, whatever the case is. Like, so their kids are my nieces and nephews. So if you say I ain't got a lot of nieces and nephews, let me tell you, I got over 30 of them. Their kids are my nieces and nephews, and nobody can tell me different. Nobody can say, oh, that's not your niece, that's not your nephew. It's like, no, you don't know how close-knit my family is. This is people who's been reciprocating the same energy. These are people that I keep close. These are people that are in my circle, and these are people that are my family.
Amen. Amen. You know, and during this life's journey, you start seeing like the lack of support in some areas, you know.
Definitely.
Graduations, you know, job acceptances, program acceptances, ceremonies, birthday parties, just appreciation of life events.
Of course.
It's like, you know, like, where's the love? Where's the reciprocity? You know, support is free. But if it costs you, if you feel like it costs you your life, then I don't want it to cost your life.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You know, if you feel like supporting your family, supporting your loved one costs your life, then just keep your life.
You know, like, if somebody want to be there for you, they will be there.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be like pulling teeth, like, hey, are you going to come? Hey, are you going to do this? Like, no, like, if they really want to be there, they will be there. You shouldn't have to ask them multiple times. You shouldn't have to send multiple invites. Like, naturally and organically, they would be there if they really wanted to be there. So sometimes you just got to look at the people that's in your life and weed out the little bad apples, even if it's like, man, I used to be really close to this person. Man, that was my favorite aunt, or that was my favorite uncle, or me and this cousin was really close. It's like, you know, at the end of the day, you got to, you know, push them to the side. I didn't say throw them away. You know, they're there, but put that apple back on the shelf. Some might rotten, but who knows?
Love them from a distance.
Love them from a distance. That's all you got to do. Sometimes you just got to love biological family from the distance.
That's real talk. I hear that 100%.
Yeah.
You know, and speaking of family support, you know, I want to go ahead and do a little recap for Kasai's first birthday.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. It was a beautiful turnout. Yes. Thank you for everybody that supported. Thank you. And also thank you to everybody that also supported when he was born. And the baby shower. I thank everybody's contribution. We love y'all. Let's build our foundation, we learn from that. Learn from the story that's from the past. We grow in this life as our time will pass. Reflect on ourselves so we ever last. Yeah, Boots, that's right. I love you the second I seen your eyes. The windows of the soul spoke to my life. I'm forever blessed to call you my wife. That's real talk, my love is on sight. That's real talk, you always on my mind. Cherish every second with you on my life. My A1 since day one, I love my shy. Okay, baby, now we have a baby. Damn right, we went have on a baby. Shouts out the side, baby. Shouts out the side, baby. Okay, baby, now we have a baby. Damn right, we went have on a baby. Shouts out the side, baby. Shouts out the side, baby. My love for you will always be in abundance. Let's come together, turn nothing to something. Communicate more to develop our love and connecting our spirits. Our souls are in function. Let's build our foundation, we learn from that. Learn from the story that's from the past. We grow in this life as our time will pass. Reflect on ourselves so we ever last. Let's build our foundation, we learn from that. Learn from the story that's from the past. We grow in this life as our time will pass. Reflect on ourselves so we ever last. Yeah, Boots, that's right. I love you the second I seen your eyes. The windows of the soul spoke to my life. I'm forever blessed to call you my wife. That's real talk, my love is on sight. That's real talk, you always on my mind. Cherish every second with you on my life. My A1 since day one, I love my shy. Okay, baby, now we have a baby. Damn right, we went have on a baby. Shouts out the side, baby. Shouts out the side, baby. Okay, baby, now we have a baby. Damn right, we went have on a baby. Shouts out the side, baby. Shouts out the side, baby. My love for you will always be in abundance. Let's come together, turn nothing to something. Communicate more to develop our love and connecting our spirits. Our souls are in function. Let's build our foundation, we learn from that. Learn from the story that's from the past. We grow in this life as our time will pass. Reflect on ourselves so we ever last.